Hi guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hill. So on January 10th, we had a bit of a snowfall. Not typically normal here in San Marcos or Austin area. Every few years we get a snowfall. Up north, Austin, they got 3-4 inches. We only managed about 1.5, something, whatever you see on the roof right there. And it kind of settled down. This is the next day on the 11th, so I'm just sweeping it off the roof so I can start working on it. And just did my diligence just to get it off there. And so my wood is on the second level, the kitchen roof, so I brushed it off and then tried to get as much of it off the roof as possible. Anyway, here you see, instead of working on the roof, I started burning brush piles. So no loss of time there. We had to burn. We had 3 big piles, so we started burning those. There you go. So had the Bobcat running and just started piling up the wood. The day before, this was all covered in snow. It looked really pretty. It was kind of fun playing in it. But anyway, here you see the back end of the containers. Didn't change a whole lot except for the rafters you see on the green containers and the wall right there. So later on in the day, the sun came out and stuff, so I started working on the roof. And started with the rafters that have the kickouts, the 2x4 kickouts for the 2-foot overhang. Basically just center, 16-inch on center, have these little kickouts. So the 2x is mounted in these, and then of course it's nailed to the rafter next to it. So you'll see that in a minute. But anyway, I did both sides like that. The upper game room containers, they're offset from each other about 6 inches. That's so the green one will actually span an open area between the 2 containers that it's sitting on. Anyway, so we decided to leave it like that, and it's actually going to help later on putting some utilities and electrical wire through kickouts that I'm going to make, or boxes that I'm going to make for that part. You'll see that later. But anyway, there's a method to the madness, I guess. Before I started doing the kickouts, I actually wanted to do blocking for 3-4 of the rafters, just so everything would be a little bit tighter and squared up, and support it. So by the way, if you saw my other video, I went with the 2x12 rafters just so I don't have any supports underneath it. They're spanning from one end of the 2 containers, the outside wall to the outside wall, and no supports in the middle. The alternate was to build trusses or some kind of 2x4 structure that required a lot more work, and was actually, believe it or not, more expensive than the 2x12 rafters after you include all the extra wood you need. So I ran out of battery. This seems to happen with the GoPro a lot. And she helped me put up that outside piece for the fascia, and then you saw me kind of leveling it out. This is LSL stuff, so it's manufactured, and it does sag a little bit, so that's what you saw me doing there. Here I'm doing the continuation of the blocking. There's 30 rafters-ish on each end, plus 1. So I'm doing the blocking, stiffen everything up. Here I'm working on the right side of the roof, same way I did on the left for the kickouts, and you'll see the 2x4s going up there. So you can see there the 6 inches separation or offset from one container to the other. You can see the wall that I'm building there. I made a little mistake here. Actually, the center of this was about 2 inches too high, and I measured it, built it, and the next day you'll see me redoing it because once all the other rafters were in place, the levelness of that was not right. So anyway, yeah, technical term, levelness. So I'm back to putting the rest of the rafters on, and once I do that, then I notice that the one for the kickouts is not level, and you'll see me fixing it in a few minutes here. So pretty simple, just like the other rafters. Everything's at a 9.5 degree. It's a 212 pitch roof. Pretty easy stuff. I was all by myself this day, so no big deal. Whatever. Everything fell into place. Did the rafters, put the blocking back on the outside wall, etc. Nailed all the stuff, and everything went fairly smoothly. A little timeout before I finished up this day. I actually started doing all the blocking for the rest of the rafters. I think I was cutting like 15 right now, and they're all the same. Make everything nice and square, and I just kept, conveyor belt manufacturing here. So I cut one and I measured it off, and then I started using that as my template. And then the rafter install. Pretty straightforward. I had these come along here and there. I could press against it with my knees, they saw me doing there, just to tighten it up. And 4 nails per side, and that seems to make it extremely stiff. Anyway, pretty easy stuff. Here's the come along in action. You know, a little persuasion for some of the rafters because they're all a little bit bowed. Not all of them, but some of them were. So it's a lot easier doing this and then just tightening it up and putting the blocking in the middle. And there you go. There's the my little mistake. So that center wall right there, holding the kick-out rafters, that's what I'm calling them. I cut the nails out and had to relocate the height roughly 2 inches lower. And I started to make sure I was level at this point. I have no idea how I got off the day before, but it happened. I didn't use a level because the rafters were really far off. I used a piece of wood, and I guess the wood was warped enough, or I have no idea. Anyway, I fixed it. So here I'm actually measuring the outside trim piece that goes on for the kickouts. You just saw me measuring it off from the rafter, doing a 90-degree angle, and then the length of it, and that worked out really well. I was alone again, so I had to use clamps to put that trim in. No big deal. I used screws on the outside corner, and then I nailed this part, little sister right there, and off I went. Started doing the rest of the kickouts, and everything was good. And here we are near the end of it. We'll do the last few kickouts, and then I call it quits for this day. And the next day we're going to start doing the paneling, and then the top roof trim. That'll be fun. So Pop came over to help me with the paneling. Angie was somewhere around. She'll be in a picture a little later on. I think she was working on the computer or something. Anyway, Pop and I did a pretty good job on pretty quick. I had to do a couple of sisters on some of the rafters, and then Pop decided, brilliant idea. Why don't we just trim off the panels so that you don't need a sister on the rafters? I'm like, yeah, and we started rolling. And it wasn't a big deal. There was only a couple of those, but here we are. We're trying to get everything squared up. The fun part was me actually heaving these things up on the roof. We put up, I can't remember, 14, 15 of them, whatever. So I'm kind of the only muscle here, so I ended up heaving everything off. We get it off the trailer with the tractor, put it on the first roof, which is the kitchen, and then kind of slide it up on this roof. And everything worked pretty good. Pop was great. I just marked where he should nail. He started using the nail gun and just went to town. So here I'm going to make my first little trim so that the boards actually sit nice and flush. The roof ended up being a tiny bit cocked over, so things were mostly straight. However, like I said, I had to sister a couple of the rafters. So the bonus in the rafters plus having the whole roof off kilter a tiny bit made it a little more work, but you know, it's construction, so it's not a piano, as we always say. When she finished up downstairs, she came up to help with the nailing, and Pop and her started doing all the nailing, and I started doing all the trim work on the panels wherever I needed it, cutting them down if I had to. Like I said, I didn't show this on the other videos, but I marked all the where the rafters are so they could nail in the proper place. So I basically found the locations and I marked it with a Sharpie, and then Pop and Angie went off and started hammering the nails in with the nail gun. So I gave up the day before because of the wind. The wind didn't change any, and then it got really cold the day I had to do this, which is we plumbed a line, string line, make sure all the rafters or the kickouts were nice and even for the trim, and then I had to figure out how to not kill myself by not falling down 30 feet. So I used a piece of metal container, and then I could lean on that and actually use the saw and stuff. Here you see me putting up the trim piece. I used clamps. And then, yeah, a little nervous about hanging over the edge, but I just didn't want to drop anything or whatever. And I just moved slow, and well, you can see me moving fast because I sped everything up. But I was moving slow. So for the most part, the trim piece went up really easy. They're 20 feet long. These are the LSLs as well. Here you see me doing the last part of the first one. I do the other side, and then I put a little 4-foot piece in the middle. The roof is 44 feet wide. It's on top of 40-foot containers, 2-foot kickouts, overhangs rather, and that's where that was the measurement was. And just like that, put the centerpiece in, hammered it in place. So I'm doing the last piece of paneling. This is almost, probably about half an hour away from being done. I started trimming the panels like Pop kind of mentioned I should be doing instead of doing sisters, and that made a whole lot of difference. Again, I mentioned that the whole roof is the panels are kind of cocked over a tiny bit. Obviously, we got off on, from the bottom of the roof on up to the top. But you can see the overhang on the left where the panel is. It's hitting the 2x just perfectly on center. So we fixed it. Just more of the same. Just a little bit of trim work, blah blah blah. Make sure it fits. Make sure I don't have to do any sisters. I started hammering it out. The wind was pretty good. You can see the wind really moving the trees back there. I can't say I was comfortable up here, although it wouldn't. The more I do it, of course, the more comfortable I get. But the last thing to do on the roof, you can see some of the panels overhanging. Then I plumb a line, and then you take the skill saw and you cut the excess off. So that was the next bit of business. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing next. I already plumbed the. I guess I don't show it on video, but I already popped the string line down there, and then I just cut the excess paneling off. And I didn't have to do that in too many places, but look at the wind blowing all the sawdust. That was pretty fun. Doesn't matter what I had, eye protection or not. It was nuts. So the last bit of business was putting the zip tape on all the seams, and now we have a 36 by 44 foot roof. Should be watertight, and we're ready to roll. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more. The next bit of business, which is next week, we plan on doing the garage. That's going to be a 2x6, 2x4, and 2x8 construction, so that'll be fun. More of the same, a little different. We're using the same zip paneling, and then 2x construction.